Good Dunning. Welcome to another episode of Good Dunning. My name is Josh. I used to be Mr. Floyd, and welcome, guys. Helene, little witchy one, Tina, beautiful soul. How you guys doing? Welcome to Good Dunning. We did not have Good Dunning yesterday. It's gonna pretty much 4 or 5. I mean, four times a week. 4 times a week. I can't guarantee the full week. It's just gonna depend. But we're here, and so we'll take it daily, right? Just check your. There you are. There I am. I'm grateful. Thank you. How are we doing, folks? It's in my pocket. Oh, my uncle. All right, so we'll get that on the table here, just for energy, right? Loretta, hey, what's happening, y'all? Where's Rerun and Shirley and Raj, right? All right, so we have a cat. This is going to be fun here. All right, so we also have a. There we go. All right, so there's welcome to Cat TV with Josh and all right, Poppy, what are you doing? All right, you're smelling the crystal. Is it? You smell the energy? All right. So welcome. So the two of us here, and so we're gonna run Good Dunning here. All right. No, Victor's still. Victor's still alive. Oh, there we go. All right. So welcome, guys. I know the lighting isn't the greatest. I'm not hauling my light up here, but I'm going to turn on one other light and see if we will make it a little better here. Aha! Turn on the light behind me there. And so welcome again, and grateful for all of you guys who Nathan, hi Nathan. We'll get. I'll be sitting around here today doing laptop stuff till 5, so we'll get in touch. I spaced it the other day, but I was just. Some days are good, some up and down, right? It's some days I forget to catch my energy, right? Let's be honest. I don't know about you, but so I'll stand in it for a while and then realize I'm standing in it, and then in it being the shadow, right? And then have to release it. So, all right. So somehow Kuan Yin got all kajumbled here. So half the cards are one way and half the cards are another. And when you're reading, I mean, we could do that. But so all right. So let's see what we got from Kuan Yin, and we'll clear some energies from last week, and start off this, I guess, new week because it's Tuesday. But we didn't do Good Dunning yesterday. Start off this week with some intentions, and yeah. So. Thank you guys as well. It's been a minute since I've been on, so thank you guys. Friday when I went live, Friday night, we're gonna do something like that again. I got to figure out the right time. I got to look at my schedule, but we will go live again this week in the evening if you want to join us for channeling and cards. And yeah, it's kind of. I mean, we can do cards and kind of a general reading, but if we're doing channeling, they're asking. And Saint Germain's asking that you guys have a question, like what's going on in my universe, or this, that, or the other, to answer per se about your life. So he's not going to give you like what's next for me. Saint Germain doesn't want to tell you that because you have to figure out what's next, you and your direct guides. But if you're stuck getting there, he can help you. But all right, hi. Laura B, welcome. Good dawning. And today at 5 o'clock, that's my time. 7 o'clock, that would be most of your times on the East Coast. And 4 o'clock, if you're Scotty Boy on his porch. Laura B will be live, not Memorex. And as I sit here with the Light Seers card, I'm like, there's Laura. What am I? Let's just wait till tonight and we'll get Laura to, right? Her group reading there, which is usually generally fire, right? But yeah, so. Join us tonight on the Let Spirit Guide, Laura B, and we will all have a reading because she does, and then pick a card too, right? 3-card Monty. That's, there we go. All right, so Good Dawning. Painter. If I'm hoping correct. Oil painter. There we go. All right, it took me a second there. When you're on the phone and it's not like highlight, it's really small, and then it's hard to read. So how are we doing, guys? I am grateful for all of you. Just trying to get this deck organized. I'm grateful for all of you here, and grateful to be here. DoorDash yesterday. We're going to DoorDash again tonight, so favor to that. And the rest of the day it's spent on the laptop looking for work, right? So favor. Henny, Tina, good dawning. Shelly and Neil, welcome, beautiful souls. And yeah, I just found out we're getting 50 Aldis in Colorado. That's always a blessing. So maybe I'll get a job at Aldi in 2027 when they're opening. Late 2026 when they start opening. All right, so let's see what we get from Kuan Yin and the Divine Master of. That was a terrible shuffle. I can't fan it together. The Master of Divine Feminine. There we go. Nathan, no bodies. I will be reaching out for a private. Diana Boyles, I'll be reaching out for a private reading. Diana, good dawning. Reaching out for a private one. There you go. All right, so here we go. Let's see what we get from. That's the card. Kuan Yin. And all right, street legal. Some of these cards we can't technically show. The algorithm will dance it, lose its rhythm real fast. All right, so today is the Shining Lotus, and I don't, there's 8,000 cards here, right? The whole deck, not really, but the whole deck, and I don't honestly ever, in the million times I've pulled, not, but probably a couple hundred times I've pulled cards in this deck, I don't ever recall seeing this card, but there are times when it makes sense to be discreet until you find your inner strength so that you feel empowered enough to share your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs without wavering, even in the face of challenges. At other times, we are ready to take a risk and to allow our inner lotus to blossom of all of our true self and to shine forth for all to behold. So there you go. Shine your inner lotus. Let it shine, right? Let it shine, let it shine. There you go. That's your love life. But Lindsay, good dawning. Are you staying warm up there? Favor? And you should be, aren't you February? You don't go to Ohio till February. Yeah, and then I'm not there, but favor. But you'll be a lot warmer. I guarantee. I can guarantee that you will be a lot warmer in Ohio than when you go to in your bus, for sure. Favor. And we are grateful that you'll be a lot warmer. What happened to Red Rocks? I guess another email today to one specific person, maybe two, and most likely I have to reapply when they open it up in a couple weeks. I should be issuing, but even at that, there's no guarantee. Nothing to guarantee. But I'm gonna send another direct email or two direct emails to two specific people today. I sent some stuff last week and not so taking my time, but hopefully we can get back. Red Rocks right now is closed because nobody wants to. Well, it's actually been warm. It's like 65 degrees today, so you could sit outside in the concert. But tonight, when it gets to like 10, you really wouldn't want to. But they are having a concert in February. Last time they did so, it got snowed out. But so they do have a winter concert at night in February. So it'll be like 5, but fun, right? It actually could be the night that's like 50 degrees or something. But yeah, so we're working on it. But who knows? I'm not in control of. One thing I finally learned, it took a while, right? Is that I'm not in control of any of this, right? As long as I'm following my intuition, which I did, in going to Cincinnati, which sounds, you wouldn't think I did, but no, I did. And coming back here, for some reason, right? And that kind of came through yesterday, in Hershey's readings there on Meta Messages on Monday there, from Metatron, right? Meta Messages. But there's something here. Like I gotta overturn all the sand, so to speak, and find what reasoning there's another reason that I came back, right? And so so we'll see what happens. Red Rocks, I'm hoping I can get back there, but there may be something better in store, where I can just go to Red Rocks and he's like, here, I'll just buy a ticket and go to any show I want. That would be more preferable, but I know. I mean, I would like to keep it as a part-time job, if nothing else. If I had 2 jobs, but I don't know anything. I don't know. I'm letting go finally. I'm just not going to sit and try. I'm trying to stay present as I can. Is the surgery? Is it this surgery? Wait. Hey, Lindsay, Laura, Loretta. Much love and gratitude for almost dying before surgery. I'm truly grateful. Did you have another surgery? What's going on, Nathan? Fill us in the chat, please. Sending you a favor there as you reach out to your lawyer there. No, I just meant almost died before. Yeah, well, of course. But I'm excited to see how this whole thing plays out here because you want to see the capital J with a E at the end of it and a couple of T's and C's. Justice, right? Hopefully Nathan can get some. Justice, the universe is just, right? It does right wrongs and whatnot. Generally speaking, the ship always always brings itself into balance. But So favor that. That's why I'm not like worried. I think half of like my universe is just to see how I would react, right? Um, there we go. Josh, you're doing great. Following following your I don't know, but following my bliss. That's no. I'm really thank you, but I don't know anything. Some days, really, it's not. It can look easy on camera because I'm sitting right here, but like, give me 4 or 5 hours as I'm sitting here punching out resumes, and I may go through it, to catch myself so it doesn't swallow my day. But right, and that's the shadow side. Right? My shadow wants to keep me really small, and it's really negative against me. But your results may vary. All right, so the Divine Masters. Yeah, these are kind of like floofy decks. Because they're not dealing with the hearts. Well, the fact is, let go of all resistance to life, to let the God source all the things that I've been thankful for. I've been becoming truly grateful for. Awesome. Awesome. Hi, doggo. Okay, we have a dog here, right? I don't know if I can get her on camera. Oh, not very well. Not without the YouTube going, hey, you're not vertical. This has to be vertical. But no, I can't take you anywhere, doggo. You lay down. She wants to go somewhere outside, right? But obviously, if we did so, then that wouldn't work for you. No, not right now. I love you, but not now. Go lay down. All right, so let's see what we got here. We got the cards, and this again is the Divine Kyle Gray Divine Master deck. All right, so we'll take the bottom card as the energetics for today. Yeah, no, I'm looking at this right here. So we got dog over there, and we got that right. I guess meatloaf right in front of me here. Favor. There we go. All right, so bottom card for energetics, top three, un, dos, tres. As the energies, G for how we get there. There we go, 1, 2, and 3. They're all stuck together. All right. Let's see what we got. Hot. These things work. I had this for $3 at Goodwill. It's branded. The only is branded area if you're like Western wear, Latino Western wear. All right, so we got Elmora, spiritual force field. Protective light is surrounding you. You are safe, but it's your own tornado field. You're only as safe as you're as safe as you allow yourself to be, right? So if you sit in fear, then you're gonna bring in things, and if you sit in safety, then you're going to protect yourself, right? And of course, you can always call in protection from Isis, or you can use the violet flame from Saint Germain, which we're going to start working with again. It's been a minute, and you could protect yourself that way just as well. But you could always call in your higher self, or you can just walk in an era like you just walk with that swagger, right? Depending on how you walk, depends on the energy you're gonna transmit. So if you're walking with your head down, then you don't look like you're walking with protection, right? And generally speaking, if you're walking with your head down or something, that's how you. If you got to be in a crimey area, but that's how you become a victim of crime, right? But if you're walking like with your back out, like when you feel source, right, and you walk with, like that versus that, right? You get it. Yeah, then you cast your own spell just as well, right? You walk with the energy. I protect myself too. So keep that in mind, because a lot of people look outside of themselves too, but you can find protection, the energy of protection, just based on how you shift and carry your energy, right? To an extent. The cats, especially Zuki, like to face east in front of me when I do. Oh, wow. I don't know what they're looking at. Right? I always wonder what like the cats are seeing there all day long. Zigzagging along. I mean, I know that if we could see more than 0.5% of light there, we'd see like all kinds of like the light spectrum. We'd see, shoom, this room would be like crowded, right? Be like, excuse me, pardon me, coming through. But yeah, all right. So let's see what we got. All right. So Elmora, spiritual force field. Then we have Buddha. Heightened awareness. There you go. So if you're putting up a spiritual force field, protective light, then yeah, you would want to have what? There you go. Updated. No, we don't. We would want to have heightened awareness. Let me turn on, there we go, do not disturb. There we go. All right, so that goes really well with spiritual force field. All right, then we have Hathor, light activation, acceleration, brilliance, and standing in your light. So if you're making peace with the thoughts in your world, then you can stand higher in your light, right? And then finally, Hanuman, devoted warrior. So let God's love hold you in strength. There we go. All right, so if we put this together here, so you're, oh, there you go, strength and safe. Same difference, right? So, all right, so you are feeling protected and safe, and so put up your spiritual force field, right? They're not saying live with that, live behind this force field, but make sure that you are always protected, but not, or you could be like me, right, and live behind a literal wall, and just be disconnected from everything. Buddha, right, heightened awareness, and make peace with your thoughts. So put up that spiritual force field, then make peace with your thoughts. Let your light be activated. There's acceleration, brilliance, and standing in your light. So stand in that frame. If you're in heightened awareness, generally speaking, what are you? You are standing in activated light, right? And so there you go. And then what are you going to do with all that energy, right? And of course, if you're activated in light, heightened, generally then you have, you're letting God's love hold you in strength, right? And so that's the idea. So, and that means what? What we were talking about, being present, right? And that, exactly. We're not trying to live in a future we're not creating, right? We're trying to tell the universe how to create, and then that's why our lives, a lot of what we're trying to manifest doesn't come into play, because we're sitting here one day wanting to manifest this, and the next day we're in panic that our universe is falling apart. The next day, right? And so if you can't find a balance, what I'm learning is if you don't find a balance, I can't. If you don't find a balance in your energy, then your universe doesn't generally balance out. And so yeah, you can take that for what it is, but standing in frame in that balance there. But Buddha Hanuman, other ascended masters, bless us, please all at this. One thing you want to do, Nathan, as well, and are you remembering to do this? Are you blessing yourself? Is we can reach out, so to speak, as much as we want, right? But are we reaching in and blessing ourselves just as well? One day at a time, right? All right, I'll leave this. Actually, I'm gonna put it in a box. I'll leave it out, and then we're gonna pull one tarot card because I'm not the best at tarot. And eventually, yes, it was suggested to me, and I got to find time to do so right now. Finding a job, but in between, breaking these into the different suits, so to speak, and then making cheat sheets on each of the cards because that'll help me to learn. And so I'm gonna do so at some endeavor to do so. I got a notepad here, so at some point. Even if we're just sitting here watching TV, so to speak. Discernment, thought we don't need to let it all in. Exactly. Well, about letting it in, right, exactly, but it's also about grounding into it as well. Because a lot of us, it's not, it just happens, right? We're not, 1 minute, it's just automatic. I mean, for myself, it's 50 years of patterning. And so when that shadow side comes through, and I'm not even realizing it, and next thing you know, I'm 52 throwing a 2-year-old temper tantrum because, right, I realize, right, exactly. Or running around being scared for no reason because of my present, I'm fine, but we don't know about tomorrow. I mean, I could win the lottery for all we know, right? You're discounting your future if you're that, right? Because if I'm going to run around saying I'm broke, and I could turn around and just be like, well, if I would have bought that lottery ticket, but I'm saying I'm broke, right? You never know. We don't know anything. Fatima, good dawning, beautiful soul. Staying warm up there in Canada. If you're not subscribed to Fatima or John, her brother, definitely do so. All right, shuffleophagus here. All right, we're going to pull one card from the Light Seers deck, and we'll call the cards for today. Let's see what comes out. How much in it? That's too many cards. One single jumping card, please. And there we go. That's more like it, right? And I was having a conversation with somebody about kings earlier today. Kings cards, right? We got the King of Wands. And, we got it right side up. Actually, it kind of came diagonal, but close enough. So let's see what we got here. Wands, King. Let me put him in the front or in the end. Back. All right. See here. 8, 9, Knight, Queen, King. All right, King of Wands. An entrepreneurial spirit, a natural born leader, ideas that can be used successfully as a creative, visionary, timeless success. All right, so there we go. We're gonna call that for the Knight of Wands. It was upright, and we are seeking. When it wasn't upside down. If it's upside down, then it's overtly ambitious and need for compassion. Uh, egomaniac. There you go. Being too assertive, explosive emotions, and impatience. But no, so successful fire, right? So if we add the 3 readings together here, if we keep it together here, with the light activation from Hathor here, and the shining lotus, and the entrepreneurial spirit here, good stuff. Who knows what's coming in, but that'd be awesome. No, I can tell you guys, I will again go live. Speaking of entrepreneurial spirit here, donations accepted but not required. This week, I don't know what date yet. I gotta most likely Thursday. I'm thinking Thursday night this week at 8 o'clock, either between 7 and 8. And I'm just asking you guys, would 10 p.m. Eastern time, is it too late for most? For Nathan, it would be 11 o'clock. Is that too late? Just take Suzette. Hi, miss you. How are you, beautiful soul? So yeah, so I'm thinking Thursday night. At this point, as far as I know, these also sound very good. It is. It's as good as we want it to be, and that's what I'm kind of learning here. But yeah, so Thursday we'll go live. I'm just making executive. Between 7 and 8, I'm not sure yet. Schedule, maybe 7:30. We'll split the difference here. Sending. Hi, Hershey. Good dawning. Hey, guess what? You're gonna trip, right? And this is the guess what we pulled? We pulled one card, and Hershey. We pulled the king of wands. So let's entrepreneurial spirit. Come down to business, right? The king of wands. How funny is that, right? King of swords, but better than king of pain, though, right? I will always be not cancel that. I'll leave that to Sting, although I'm sure Sting's not sitting around the pain. But all right, guys, how we doing? So yeah, executive decision here Thursday night. I'm gonna go live. We will do cards and Oracle Tarot, and I will work on literally Hershey just shows up as I was talking about the cheat sheet there, which is what Hershey had recommended when you do a tarot deck there to make a cheat sheet for the tarot decks, right? And so we will be doing so best we can here, in between. But Thursday night, I'm gonna call 7:30. We'll go live. There we go. That way, because I'll dash till 7. It dies out at 7. Colorado restaurants close at 8 o'clock for dinner. If that tells you anything, like the majority of restaurants close at 8 p.m. Boom, and that's Saturday and Friday. For dinner, right? Dinner's done and they're closed at 8 and out the door. But that's a Friday night. So yeah, we will 7:30 on Thursday. We'll go live. There we go. All right, guys. That's a happy king party. Happy king party. So how are we doing? Let's clear some energies from the weekend. If there's anything to clear from you guys in your call there. All right. Oh, good dawning. Welcome. And of course, Calvin and Hobbs. You can say hi to them too. Up with the TARDIS. Yeah, there's a definite theme in if you exactly. But Doctor Who. I feel like I've dropped the ball on a bunch of stuff. Have so much to do. Just so everyone knows, Lindsay, have to pack up everything now, move back to storage. Hopefully move to a smaller unit. Clean. Favors for some peace, Lindsay, and stability there. Grateful. Up everything so much to organize. You got this. You got this for sure. All right, so let's clear some energies from this weekend. What if there's anything stuck in your craw? Anything happened? Maybe you got cut off by a skateboarder. Maybe you got cut off at the grocery store. If you remember that from way back in the day. But yeah, so what's going on in your universe? We're not cutting out people or anything else, and we're not doing a full burning cord cutting ceremony or anything of the sort here. We are just literally just clearing the energies by recognizing the energy that may be in our field, and then wiping it away. You can use the violet flame. Once you recognize the energy, you could just be like, I turn it to the violet flame and erase it that way as well. I like the chalkboard method where you write it like, all right, on the chalkboard, my annoying boss or whatever, cancel that, right? I don't currently have it on my own boss, right? But the annoying boss, there we go, because I don't want to own anything in the future either, right? So erase and erase it from the board. Whatever works for you. These are exercises you can do in real time as well. So you, God forbid, something happens, and whatever it might be, I'm not creating any scenarios. You create your own. But no favor. Whatever happens there, you can just, let's erase that. All right, clear the energy, and I'm standing straight in my own current space, right? But yeah, or you can choose to take it with you and pack it up in your lunch bag there and keep rolling it out all day long, right? It's up to you. A lot of us do that, right? We'll pack up that negative energy, right? We'll fold it up and put it in our pocket, and then we will come around dinner time or whatever. We'll wheel it back out and throw it out on the dinner table, right? We don't need to do that, right? Because we can clear it right then and there, and we don't have to turn it over to our shadow side and start mulling it over and all the miswiring that we carry inside ourselves, right? Ho'oponopono, Lindsay. Remember, it's a blessing may feel disguised. All right, yeah, some blessings in disguise. Give me a. Ooh, there you go. Right. Yet less is more, and begin fresh. Choose to view it as yes. God is good. I am good. Favor there. Hey Kay, how you doing? Favor there, Lindsay, in your move there. I definitely understand at least in some aspects there. The move, favor. Yeah. And you know what's weird though is what you learn really fast. And we paid the rent. I paid the rent. We get the rent paid yesterday for storage. But when you don't have 99% of your stuff, right? For a while, I felt truly discombobulated, right? Like really lost. But what I've learned is, I need me. I'm grateful for you guys. I need you guys. But really, when it comes down to it, it was just it's stuff. I mean, really, what do you use the most? Your cell phone, your shoes, right? A lot of your stuff you may pick up twice a year, 3 times a year. You may just stare at it, right? Like my bike, for example. I never really rode it. I just stared at it. I sat in my living room. Because I'm lazy. I'm not lazy. It's my wiring. It's not. I'm not really lazy. It's how my brain is wired, and I'm learning that to not label myself and just to understand my wiring so that it can work around it instead of just, oh, I guess I'm just lazy. No, I'm miswired. Yes, I'd say talking on the phone has how I did clean and helps. Just what's important, needed. Rest is best. As grateful to have. Yes, the mess. What? Yeah. Speaking of grateful, there we haven't spoken since Bob Weir died. There, favor. But it's interesting though when these things happen. I used to get all emotional, like terrifically emotional. But what I realized is I didn't this time is because I was grounding in my own sadness, right? So I would peel. It would just be a kick into the door of the sadness within me. And now that when Bob passed, I was sad for a minute, but then I realized like 80, almost 80 years old. God bless. We got how many years of extra Bob Weir did we get, right? And Grateful Dead. So the sadness turned into gratitude for the fact that he was a spry 78 and really up to a 77 and a half. He was it was amazing. He was on tour. So and exactly. REM quit and how right, exactly. The Dead, right. So REM quit and they way younger and stopped touring. So yeah, you can turn these things around because a lot of times when things externally happen, then we will take our internal grief and such, and then it gets all reshuffle and we attach it to that situation. But so what we're really grieving is what's inside us, not like that, right? Yeah, no, Bob's up there right now. He's in the fill zone, right? So he's cool. He's in the Phil's, but he's playing with Pigpen, so it's cool. He's in Pigpen. He's in Pig's pen, right? So there you go. It's like old Haight Ashbury up there now. All right. You too, Josh. Over 10 years ago, I spent a lot of money to buy a bike, helmet, biking shoes, water bottle, and I rode it once. I still have the bike. Yeah. I mean, I rode a motorcycle. And so when you've ridden a motorcycle and you can just go, and you're going like 80 miles an hour, and it's like, I don't know if I want to bother pedal. You know, and an e-bike, I can't justify buying an e-bike. I don't know. There's something. I mean, I guess I could at some point, but I was living on a third floor and I didn't have the money anyways. But Mystic John, good dawning, beautiful brother of the mystical light. How you doing, man? Hopefully you got connected with Chloe there. I think they're gonna do something. We may. I gotta talk to Chloe. Stop. I may. There you go. I just grab her snout. She likes it anyways. We play a game. Grab the snout. But so we may have Chloe live Saturday with Crystal Good Dunning, with crystals, Chloe's crystals. Um, but yeah, so let's clear some energies, guys. So let's take a deep breath, shall we? And breathe in and release. Doggo, your anxiety. The dogs. Don't you love a dog that just like always whimpering? It's like living in. Doggo, sit. Go do something. As per dog, who knows? But here, dog. All right, dog. That would be cool if you have Chloe on. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I've got to reach out to Chloe again. But I had mentioned it to her last week, and she was down. So we'll see what's going on there. But yeah, so hopefully we'll have Chloe live Saturday, and hopefully you got a hold of her, John, there, and have a show with Chloe as well. And of course, if you need crystals, you can go to chloescrystals.shop and type in the discount code Floyd FLOID capital FAM for 15% off of your crystal purchase there. But there we go. And we do not. This is not a paid advertisement. We're not paid or anything else. We just know that Chloe's crystals kicks ass. Exactly. I got her mail and look for it. Perfect. All right, great. So let us know when that is. We'll pile over. Assuming I can. I haven't been on much YouTube at all, and yeah, it's weird when you used to like literally just watch YouTube 24/7. It was like it for years. I still watch YouTube occasionally, but now I'm trying to ground into the 3D to 4D, the physical world, right? And so this would be like 2D, right? Because there's no depth. But, so yeah, to create, I got to physically create something here, or I will be swallowed up, and we don't want that, right? But so yeah, so let's clear some energies. Let's take another breath here. And release. All right, so from your end to mine, we'll do the chalkboard. I'm going to do the chalkboard method, whatever works for you. If there's anything at all that happened in any form or fashion over the week, in any which way, that you need to clear, something that you're still mumbling under your breath, or what have you, just wham, let's clear that energy. So from your end and mine, go ahead and do so. Take a quick minute here. All right, and if there's anything you need to keep clearing, you're clearing, just keep doing so. But again, if anything comes up during the day, evening, whenever, just clear it. Just, nah, I don't want that in my frame. Thank you. You can keep that energy. I love you, and you can take that. I don't really want that. Here you go. So yeah, you can, as simple as that. It's your body doesn't. It's a symbolic act, but when you're saying it, your mind and your body, it's a whole different deal when you're doing so, because you're creating the symbolism, the act of works in conjunction with, and your body doesn't really know any different, so it'll dump that energy. Yeah, the neighbor's dog who comes to our yard to poo. Ooh, favor. All right, Loretta, got a suggestion. Do you have any salt? Right, so we're gonna take some salt and we're gonna create a barrier. Or I don't know how big your lawn is, and if you have enough, but do the edge of just the very edge because you don't want to kill your grass, right? But the edge of your grass in pink Himalayan sea salt. The other thing you can do, I would recommend, is take a crystal, right? Just a couple of cheap points and shove them in each corner of the lawn, if it's a square lawn. If it's in Colorado, it's probably a square lawn. But that's probably half the size of the average lawn. Property sizes here are about half size. Now they're trying to do half-size properties with two houses on them. But so you get half a house, right? As your standard house. But or you're in Virginia, I think that's the law. You can't build a single-family home on one standard property, at least that was. But that may help if you do that, because it'll help the lawn if nothing else. But the salt may keep his energy away. It may not. The dog may just walk right past it. I grab the damn poop and return it to sender. Yeah, there you go. That works too. But favor. That's me too, Kim. Oh, favor, Tina. Okay, bring the bird out. Haha. Doggo, what's your deal? All right, so do a channeling here. This is a channeling channel, and so I do channel. And we'll see what we've got here. It's looking around. Keep looking around the cards here. And we'll see what we're going to channel. Saint Germain, we are grateful that you are here. We are channeling through Josh Fayu this good dawning, and we are grateful. We are going to talk about carrying your shadow, right? When you are out and about and you switch, right? The adult temper tantrum. Your channeler can talk about that at times, right? But what we are talking about here is when you are going from having a good day and the exact moment, and we're not talking about 20 minutes later, once you finally kick yourself in the teeth, if you realize it, right? But the moment that you make that switch and you are in the shift, right? You go from, I'm having a great day, la-di-da, and you are walking around and life is beautiful, right? Then you are shifting, right? Poof, and you walk into your shadow side, right? And you pop into your darker side, your demons, what have you. You start getting worried, you step out of presence, right? Are you able to recognize, and this is what we are going to discuss today, when you shift, our channeler here is learning to do so, right? And this is what we are talking about. If you are wanting to stay present and you are not wanting to worry about anything, right? We are not saying worry, but if you are wanting to stand in your frame, right? And stand in the now, right? Because you're like your channel with this universe, right? You could be worried about this, that, and the other, and not standing in frame, right? But if you're standing in his frame, standing in presence, and dealing with directly what is in front of him, not thinking about what's needed tomorrow or next week or anything else, right? If you are able to do those things, then you are able to stand in frame with your loving, living universe. And if you are able to stand in frame with your loving, living universe, right? And not slip out of frame as you stand present, then you create your universe, right? You create your life. But if you stand out of frame, then you are standing out of frame. And how many days, weeks, months, years do you stand out of frame and throw tantrums and get angry and frustrated and this? And we are not talking about always being that way, but that general malaise that may set in, or the frustration, and a week later you are still yelling at the TV, or you are still honking when a car kind of cuts you off, but not really, right? Or you are still overly tired, right? So are you setting yourself off in stress hormones and such, right? Or are you allowing yourself to stay present in your current universe to create the universe you are looking for? Because if you are not present in your current universe, you're going to create the universe that you are not looking for based off of stress and based off of old patterns, right? Because generally speaking, if you are running in stress and you are not seeing the bigger picture, the easier picture, right, to your universe in whole, then you are generally, again, generally, not always the case, right? But generally speaking, then standing in the trauma body, right? And if you are standing in the trauma body, then you are generally ginning up, right? Creating, living in, standing in, working from old patterns, right? And those patterns generally are what? Lots of times self-sabotaging, self-soothing, not good for you, right? So, not the best. So it's your job, right, to understand when you make that switch, right? When you go from, you may not want to see me this way, right? Like David Banner, right? Into the Hulk. There's a moment where he's David Banner. Then there's a moment where he's switching. And there's a moment where his jeans should pop off, but these still seem to fit, right? And then there's a moment where he turns into the Hulk, wearing those jeans when he was David Banner, which should explode off his bigger waist, but nonetheless, right? Did you ever notice that? His jeans never came off. His shirt ripped. But his waistline, which got bigger and muscular, The jeans just, were they elastic? We have no idea, right? But nonetheless, when do you turn into your Incredible Hulk, right? When do you find your switch? And where do you keep coming up in patterns? Right? Where do you keep coming up in your universe where you snap out of it and you are in that space, right? Where you are like, oh no, I was so rude. I'm so sorry. Or I said that and I did not really mean that. Or that's not the energy I really want to project. Or that's not the universe I really want to create, right? So where are you paying attention to those things? Because that's what's important right now in your universe. And in 2026, it's about standing in frame and standing in presence at this point. Most of us, not all of us, and there's the second wave that is now starting to come online behind, right? Who are just barely seeing maybe X's in the sky, right? Or stopping to see which are they on the R team or the D team, and they're figuring out that that's taking their loads, right? So we already know all that stuff. So from your end, the question is, are you able to see when you fall out of your source frame and fall into your trauma body, right? Or your shadow patterns, or your darkness, or your 3-year-old, whatever it is that you, however you be, right? We don't care. Whatever it is for you, it's going to be different, but kind of the same for everybody, right? Where you will make that shift out of calm and peace into terror, into untranquil, into, oh, you know what we are talking about. So karmic, right? When you start getting karmic against yourself, others, what have you, you start saying karmic things, whatever it is, right? Are you able to catch yourself when you go from David Banner to Law into the Incredible Hulk? It is going to be your job to do so, right? That is your whole job, right? To catch yourself so that you are, because that is not yourself, that is your trauma programming, right? That is how you have programmed yourself, how you've been programmed, how you programmed to soothe yourself, to create a persona, right? That would survive, to see yourself in a different light, but to see yourself in a safe light, right? So you may make yourself small if you had parents that were overbearing, so you just shut down and sit on the couch and be quiet, right? And so maybe you do that with your boss, right? Then you get into your boss and your boss is like, what's happened here? And you shut down and be quiet and sit on the boss's couch, right? But you get the idea, right? So are you seeing that patterns, right? Are you seeing where you are behaving in a way that's protecting yourself or acting in a way that is not good for you per se, that is really shielding you from feeling or trauma or from healing, right? Amaya, good dawning. We are grateful to see you. So the question is, are you seeing that, and are you able to see when you are flipping the switch, so to speak? And can you grab yourself, or at least if nothing else, can you catch yourself inside that? We all have to at some point, right? The question is, how long does it take before you come to, so to speak, right? Saint Germain is asking. Hopefully at this point it is not taking you weeks or months, right? So a lot of us in the beginning, right, we would trauma flip, right? We'd flip out, something would happen, and we'd just poof, and we would go into our, what you might say, shadow personality or shadow state, right? And we would then work from that state, from that energy. That is up to you. If you want to work from that energy, you can do so. But it's your job to recognize when you are in it. At some point, you are going to have to learn to recognize when you are in the shadow, right? When you are not standing in your higher frame, when you are not doing what is best for you, when you are dervishing your energies, right? If you are an understanding. We love you. Are you loving yourself? So are you slowing down to see, I got cut off? And then are you taking action? That's the other question as well, because you can take action to overt, right? When you are aware, right? You can take action to overt falling into other energies, right? You get cut off by a truck, right? Are you going to cuss the truck out, flip it off, and speed up, and maybe brake check it? No, of course not. Well, you could if you are not in check, right? If you are thinking that, well, maybe you had a universe where people did things to you, right? Overtly, right? Purposely. Like, so now you are thinking that this is part of that universe, and this guy purposely cut you off because they know exactly who you are and the universe that you are living in, and they know that everybody is rude and mean to you, and this one had to do the same, right? Of course not. They did not know your universe or anything else, but you are going to be in the head that they did, right? So they are just co-conspiring with everybody else to ruin your universe, to cut you off, to make you have a bad day, right? So you are going to take that energy. Are you seeing where you drive yourself at that point? You may have been perfect, right? Driving along, listening and singing along in the car, and then poof. And there you go into the trauma self immediately, right? And then you are sitting in the trauma body. You are sitting there now. You are pissed. You are behind the car. You are flashing. You are flashing yourself, so to speak, giving him signs and whatnot. Those right? But you get the idea. So and then you are totally out of frame. Now you are in the trauma body. You are literally in the trauma of your parents when you are 4 years old and what they had done to you. It's nothing to do with the truck in front of you. Absolutely not. In fact, the truck mid left and is out of your frame, right? But you are still driving along with that truck, and the next day you are at lunch with Fran, and you are telling Fran about the a-hole in the truck who had cut you off because they know, they absolutely know that you are universe, right? Because everybody else was out to get you, they're out to get you just as well. Are you seeing what we do, what we are ginning up, right? What energies we can play in, right? How many of us do those sorts of things, right? And we play that energy, days, weeks, months. Are you able to catch yourself even before that, when you start to play in that energy in general, right? The optimal would have been like, you get cut off by the truck. Mother! All right. And we'll calm down. That would be the proper, right? No, proper or not, but catching yourself when you are, it is up to you what you choose to do, but you have the option. Because there's always a switch, a moment, a time, a mark in space, right? Time, if you exist in your linear, right, circle, right? But nonetheless, when things happen and you go poof, that exact poof, you are at a choice point, right? A decision point. You can either revert, right? And I'm going to call my old self and sit there in a trauma body space and scream and rant and rave and act like a loon, right? Or you can call on your higher new self, right? The new self you've discovered in your higher self, right? And you could say, I choose better. I recognize I'm frustrated. All you have to do is call it out, right? I recognize I am angry, and I recognize this pooled energy of the small self. If you recognize the energy and you state the energy, you do not have to play in the energy, right? But if you state the energy, you are recognizing, wow, this feels like the small energy. Oh, wow, this is triggering that small energy. I'm not going to play in that. Are you understanding? If you can see it. Some people cannot see it. It's like a wash, right? All of a sudden, poof, and wash over you all that naked, right? And you are just standing in that frame and you don't even realize it, right? Poof. Instantaneous. But if you are aware, and the longer you are doing all this, right, you become more aware that you have a David banner inside you, right? So if you are aware of that, you will learn your switches, right? You will learn. You get cut off to take a deep breath. All right, I'm turning on the violet flame. Clear this. Instead of going, mother, and nothing is personal, right? Well, it could be, but generally it's not. Generally, most things are not personal. If you're in a bigger dually truck and you cannot see your little car, then it's going to be what it is, right? Maybe you weren't in the mirror when they came across. But if you are an understanding of what we are discussing, then when things go in your universe, it is your job then to grab it and catch it, right? And when your elevator starts to drop, it's your job to catch it and hit the top floor again, right? So you are choosing your energies, but it's how you choose to stand in your energies. It's the frame that you choose to create for yourself or not, right? And it is how you choose to see yourself. A lot of this as well, right? How you see yourself is how you release yourself, how you are, right? So if you see yourself as a victim, right, then you are going to walk around. This is something you need to understand. If you see yourself as a victim in your universe, then that person cut you off purposely, right? If you see yourself as just a regular loving soul and the person cut you off, then you are going to say accidents happen, things happen, right? Hopefully no accident happened, but you get the idea. But if you are thinking that you are a victim or what have you, then you are feeling that you're going to take that personally, right? And so you are going to think that that is done for you in certain ways, of course, to test your energy maybe, but it was not to you directly. This person was not sitting out driving around going, I'm going to purposely cut you off, right? Nonetheless, we think that happens, and we feel that, and we act that way. Crazy things have happened, right? So the question is, can you feel when you make the switch, right? That is the question. When you make that switch, if you can feel it, then you can grab it. You can go, I don't choose. It's a choice point. I choose better energy. I choose not to stand in that shadow, right? If you feel the energy come up, you can still embrace the energy, but you can choose not, right? To fracture and to get all whiny and frustrated. All right, I feel it. There it is. I am angry, right? I got cut off. I have every right to be, but I'm not going to react, right? I recognize it, and now I give it away. I cleanse it with the violet flame, right? Are you in understanding what we are talking about here? It's about having choice, recognizing And generally, you want to recognize, not all the time, you're not going to stand there and self-analyze every 5 seconds, but generally recognize the energetic state that you are standing in, right? And realize, like your moon, right? Whatever your moon sign is, how are you radiating this to others, right? Are you in a trauma space, and then are you dumping that trauma on them, right? Are you standing there panicked, talking to them, right? Are you giving them that panicked energy, and you are an understanding. We understand, right? There you go. Grateful. Saint Germain wants you to understand that you are the one in control, right? The energy is just energy. There's multiples of you inside, right? Energetically. Which one are you going to let out if you get cut off by a dually pickup truck diesel, right? And it leaves the big chunk of smoke in your face on top of everything else, right? So what are you going to do? That's your choice point. Are you going to, I love you. All right, things happen. No big deal. Or are you going to ground into the old energies, right? These things, why is everyone doing this to me, right? It's not happening to you. Your trauma thinks it's happening, trauma body thinks it's happening to you. What's left of your reactions, how you react. You may not even hold the trauma per se, but your instant reaction, your nervous system's reaction is to get angry and frustrated, right? And to flip them off, cut them off, check their brakes, whatever. You check them, whatever it is you would do normally, right? You autonomic response. So if you drop into that, it's your job then to realize that at some point, right? You have to come out of it at some point, unless you burn off the cortisol, right? Your choice, however it is in your universe, right? Releasing transmission. Oh, that's hot. All right, so there you go. Choice point. When you are the moment where you go from I am source love to I am trauma body, and then you stand in these shadow patterns, right? And then for me it would be like having like not worthy and stuff, right? And so start spewing all kinds of craziness. It's not craziness because that's what I use to protect myself, right? All those patterns that we have are generally protections, and we're going to protect ourselves by limiting ourselves, right? And we're unlimited, but we limit ourselves. Why? To protect ourselves, which is really makes no sense, but it does. And as I see this more and more, it's I can see where I protected at 2. I set up one hell of a box, and so it's now trying to figure out, not trying to, releasing that box, right? Letting go of the door handle, so to speak, that I've been pushing. You can't come in. I'm holding the door handle really tight, right? And so exactly, and so that's why we built that shadow side then, so we make sure we don't let people in. You see how this works. Which side of the door are you standing on? Yeah, the first time I saw that was confusing. I was clueless completely. Wait, what a question. My neighbor ducks came over once, and I got a picture of someone coming out that looked like corkscrew. I had some very large ducks. I've given them to good homes. Now my chickens rule the yard. Love it, love it, love it, love it. If you observe yourself at these times, it's easy to get it over. That's exactly choice point, because what it comes down to is becoming, and maybe that'll be channeled tomorrow, becoming the observer of our energies, ourselves, how we act, behave, what we say and do. And I'm not the best at it. I'm not gonna lie. Generally, I'll catch myself within it, like, oh, okay, but yeah. So now, catch myself beforehand and stay. Right, exactly. That's the idea. Is these patterns? I mean, we build these patterns up, and we build them up for years, right? Decades, and so it's not like, oh, that, okay, we'll just turn that off. Blink. No, it's not that easy, but it's a matter of recognizing. And there's more, but for me right now, it's just recognizing that I'm even in a shadow. Like, wait a minute. But yeah, catching it before. No, we don't need that. Homie, don't play that today, right? All right. 54. Okay, so just a few minutes. Let's set some intentions, then we're going to utilize the quartz here for the week, and we'll utilize the quartz and in conjunction with the violet flame to clear energies for the week as well. First step is even realizing there's an issue. Yeah, the first step, a lot of people don't even realize they're in a shadow. I mean, in any aspect. Like, people would tell me I had this wall. like you build this wall and you stand behind it and you don't, and I'm like, how the hell am I building a wall? I'm right here. And they're like, you have no idea. And now I'm beginning to see it. And it's, aha. Yeah, and it up and down. But, grateful. Them deciding to do something, then, yeah, exactly. There's something, exactly. And, 'cause, yeah, it's like we're in a lot of ways. A lot of us, it's like almost like we're not like dual personality, right? You have the side we want, the present side that's peaceful, loving, and then we have that shadow side, which is all the way we react and the way that we live in trauma, right? Our karmic self, what have you. Lottie, good dawning. Welcome. Beautiful soul. All right, so let's set some intentions for the week real quick. So actually, we can do that with the quartz as well. So we're going to grab the quartz here with your permission, of course. We're going to infuse this quartz right now with love and insight, right? So we're going to infuse this quartz real quick with the insight to see when we go from into shadow, negative self, whatever it is. Me, it's shadow and generally negative self-talk. Yeah, so thank you, whatever the message was there. We're going to ground it into here, and we will clear with the quartz. My oldest daughter seems happiest when angry. Is she really, though? Probably not. But our pattern may lead her towards thinking that. That's the thing. Our patterns, our shadow patterns and stuff may think that we're this, but we're really not generally, no. It's all based off of the shadow trauma. Got my quartz in head. Awesome. All right, so here we go with your permission, guys. If you see me doing this, it's just picking negativity or picking stuff off of us itself here. I don't have any music, and I've been out for a minute based on where I'm at. Actually, you know what? I probably could. I'll get my laptop set up tomorrow with a speaker. I got to get my speaker. I did bring my bows. Jason was. Thank you, Loretta. All right, guys, here we go. All right. So we're going to use the quartz here, and we're going to ground into our loving self, right? We're going to take the shadow side here, and we're going to pick off and pick clear so that we can recognize, right, when we go from to, you said what? And going on from that, right? What you say? Exactly. All right, so let's pick off, going down the chakras and cleaning off some energies here. We're going to pick off into the root chakra. We're going to the root and the sacral chakra here. Generally speaking, that's where our traumas lie, right? Our trauma patterns are based off of traumas that have happened to get locked in, and then we live out of that. Right, so if you're living in a root chakra trauma, root pattern, right, then you're not going to rise. It's going to be hard to rise past the root until you can at least recognize the pattern and start to work on it from there, right? But the shadow that sits there. So that's what we're doing right now. We're picking the scabs off and we're letting the shadow come out. And as the shadow comes out, we can see it, we can recognize it. And a lot of times it may even be recognizing a feeling inside ourselves, too. Right? Already got to favorite. Pick. So we're picking the scabs off of the root and the root chakra specifically. And we're just working with the root chakra today. And we're picking off all the scabs and all the poking at, because we want to stir it up a little bit, right? You need to stir up the energy so that you can feel it just enough so that you know when it comes in, right? You don't want to like dive into it, but we're going to poke up into the traumas there and the energies that shift us. And it's really our job then to realize when somebody says something, right, or whatever it is in the universe that's going on, that we make that shift, that when we twist right into that energy, then when it comes out of us, that we catch it, right? Oh, that's my shadow. I really don't feel like going there. pick. So we're opening it up, cleaning out the root chakra a little bit. You may feel it in your root chakra. And we're going to allow in light into that root chakra. And keep in mind, if something comes up and you flip into that energy, right, and you wake up like an hour later realizing that you're in trauma space or you're in shadow space, right, then look back if you can and look back and see what might have triggered that, right? What was it before you were like sitting there singing the girl from Ipanema and now you're trauma raging on somebody, so to speak? What tripped the light, right? What tripped that? Am I alone? Does anyone else have to potty with this picking? Here, we'll move it around a little bit. We're going to go ahead and shave off some energies from the aura. We're also going to bring in the violet flame here. So let's transmit, right? We all have the violet flame, but I'm going to transmit it from here. But you call in your own violet flame as well. So we call in the violet flame and activate the violet flame. You can only activate yours by doing so yourself. But of course, you can turn the gas dial as well. But we activate the violet flame for cleansing and healing as well. And of course, anytime you get cut off by a truck, instead of flipping out, you could just be like, all right, I love you. I'm going to activate the violet flame and clear that out. All right, washing machine's done. Whew, you can hear it. LG's extremely long sound of your clothes are clean. All right, as we pick and we pick and we pick and we pick. What we're doing is trying to open it up so that we can feel, right, when we switch. So the homework is to just pay attention to when your energy shifts. That's it. If you shift out, if something happens and you're like, what the? Or otherwise, just pay attention to it. All right, guys. And of course, today at 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, Teresa will be live on Wounds to Wisdom, 5 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Mountain. West Coast will be 2 o'clock, Central 4 o'clock. And Hershey will be live today as well with true crime stuff. We don't know what time. So set your, Hershey, the shadow reader, guys, so set your, make sure the bell is hit for Hershey. And when she goes live there, I should be there, even if I'm door dashing or what have you. Even looking for work here with the laptop phone right here. All right, guys. We're going to seal this off. But yeah, and again, we're going to utilize real quick here and call upon the violet flame. We're going to violet flame through the quartz here as well. And of course, we each have our own violet flame that we can activate here. So we activate the violet flame and clear off our root chakra enough to feel the difference from to when we shift into that shadow patterns, right? All right, let's seal this off. I hear violet flame, but I'm guessing violet, the violent flame. Yeah, we've had that channeling before. We're not the violent flame, but the violet flame. It's out there somewhere. The violent flame, sealed with love. All right, so we'll hermetically seal that off, guys. But yeah, the violet flame. I'm wearing a purple. Oh, awesome. I'm seeing purple all of a sudden. That's weird. All right, guys. Grateful. I don't know. Look for more changes. Thursday, 7:30. Unless something otherwise, or I'm conflicting tremendously with somebody that we love. Otherwise, yeah. Then we will be live, not Memorex, on Thursday evening at 7:30. So I will inevitably finish my dash at 7 on Thursday, which is generally about where it gets to be stupid, anyways. Fridays are a little bit better because they go longer, but Thursdays at that point, then you go to 7-Eleven and pick up like 50 bottles of Sprite and a package of like Twizzlers or something. It's really weird, but yeah. All right, guys. Favor that we find something here too. All right, guys. Let's close this out with a group hug. I can't stand the hot flashes. Ooh, favor. Black Kahoosh? What is Black Kahoosh? I've never heard of that. Is that a tea? Favor. But you can always go to Boulder here and jump in the hot flashes, right? They have the guys who do the William M. Hoff stuff, right? So you can jump in Boulder Creek and do the William M. Hoff. But all right, so let's close this out. Here we go with a group hug, guys, and we will be live again tomorrow. And who knows? I'll be door dashing. Well, I'm not dashing until 5 today because I couldn't get anything earlier, and I haven't yet used my platinum pass. So we will. Plus, we're going to be looking for work. This is only stopgap, right? I gotta come up with the insurance money, but I think we can do $300 by the 23rd, 4th, so it shouldn't be a problem. Dash again today, but yeah, thank you guys, and here we go. All right, so left arm up to the person to your left, right arm up to the person to your right, and take love out of our left hand here, and we take our heart chakra, right? We send it from right down our left arm. We send that heart love right out of our fingertips and through each and every one of us. That's my heart chakra is sent through my left hand through you and you and you and you and each of us, and it comes spinning around. And you send that too as it go faster and faster, like the Large Hadron Collider. We all come into one bigger heart, and we take that love that's now spinning through each and every one of us, and we lock it in like a reverse tornado into the greater source field. Chink. And we see each and every one of us in the greater source field in love and peace. And we see everybody out there in love and peace as well. And we see everybody today hoping that they can recognize and standing in frame, recognizing when they fall out of frame and when they come into their shadow, right? When they step into the other self, so to speak, as we all have, right? So favor, as we see each and everybody today out in the greater source field, realizing when they turn into that person, right? And waking up to their trauma patterns and waking up to their shadow patterns and realizing the opposite side that they carry and seeing that. And then, of course, working on that. We see each and everybody trying to be the best that they can. And when they recognize their shadow patterns, of course, working to not step into that energy and realize what is bringing that forth out of them. It is inside them. And then, of course, working to integrate that. We don't get rid of it. We integrate that energy and utilize it in a different manner. We see each and everybody today, of course, having an amazing and X's or O's in her sky. And of course, we see no forever chemicals or plastics in her soils or on her waters, right? All right, guys. With that we say hallelujah, so it is, and so it shall be, sealed with love. All right. Yeah, I thought after like 10 years it was supposed to go away, but so far, no. I tried to take the stuff the doctors give you, but once it works, so I used all the black kuhush. It helped some. I never did anything about the hot flashes. I just enjoyed them. I kind of wish I had them back. Well, if it's wintertime, right? Tell me this, ladies. Would this make sense? If it's winter and you're outside and it's like 5 degrees and you get a hot flash, wouldn't that like be the best thing ever? Especially if you're like cold and all of a sudden you get a hot flash. I'm like, whew. Awesome, guys. All right, guys. I love you. I love all of you. Not me. I can't stand them. Grateful for guys being here, and I will see you guys tomorrow. We got to do ramblings too, since we're not going to get into the mountains. Although it's been so warm here that there's no snow up until like 9, 10, I would guess, 1,000 feet. I was outside in Snowmageddon enjoying life. There you go. Yeah, the hot flash there. Favor. All right, guys, stay awesome. Have a day as amazing as all of you are. And thank you for being here. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm not saying anything that's not the case here, but as you can tell, half the no longer here, and that's fine and Jim Dandy, because, yep. Thanks, guys. See you all, Fatima. See you all in the next. Appreciate you, and thank you. All right, guys. Thanks for sticking through all of this goofiness here. But it's a shift, right? So what you watched is I'm just going through a shift. And who knows? It's going to be a whole new universe, right? And so thanks for sticking around as well. Lakeside. Literally, I was just thinking about you. And literally, I had one of those pop-ups, right, from Google. It was like a memory. And it was us at the Mexican restaurant. And it was like, so cool. But yeah, who knows, right? This is the cool thing, right? You could be watching and be like, I knew him when, but who knows? I'm open to anything, and if you can catch your shadow side and keep it not from crushing you, right? Not integrate it and not crush you. Who you're good. Anything can happen, and so yeah, this is cool. Let's see how awesome all of our universe is. But anybody's an open space, Lindsay, right? Moving again, right? Well, maybe you move into a mansion, Lindsay. We'll just see it, right? Who knows? Taco Tuesday, yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah. How many weeks ago was it? 4 weeks ago. Big Burrito Tuesday. Yeah, we're gonna get a big ass Burrito Tuesday, right? Yeah, I sent to get hot. I tend to get hot and cold very fast. Always been about balance for me. Oh, love you guys. Thank you for those who have stuck through the thick and the thin here, and the goofiness and the whatnot, and all the noestrous stuff, and all of it, and me just learning. Thank you. I love you all, and I will see you all in the next. Thanks, guys.